Becca and welcome to my channel. Today I'm just going to show you how to reduce a polymer clay cane. This is just for a circular cane or for a flower cane. There's different ones, different shapes that you can make them, so obviously there's different techniques and things that you can use. But this is just for basically a round cane or a six-sided one if you go by the edges of the triangle that's in it. So this one I made a couple of days ago. So the clay has sort of been resting. If you've just made a cane, the clay is very, very soft. So I'd say wait a little while for it to release some of the oil, for it to relax a bit and get a bit more, what's the word? Oh, firmness. So if you put it back to it, because if it's too squashy, it might distort the centre of the cane or whatever you're doing. So you just want it to have a little bit of firmness to it. And also when you're making your canes, if you're not using it straight away, leave it big so that when you're coming to use it in the future, you can reduce it down and that wakes the cane up. Because if you just start slicing into a cane that you've reduced before and not woke it up, it can go quite crumbly when you're slicing into it. So it's better to leave your canes large until you've actually come to when you're wanting to use them. This one I'm going to be using shortly. So I'd like to start off sort of at the centre and just keep, as you can see, I'm just pressing it around like this and going from the outside, from the centre to the outside. You don't want to put it straight onto your mat and roll it because again this could distort the centre of the cane. You are going to get some sort of wastage along the edges, well, that's alright, I can save them and do something else with them. Again, it's just a case of just keep doing this. And if it's a cane that's been stood for a long time, it can take longer to wake back up. But if you try and keep even pressure all the way around and come back up to around the edge of the cane and just give that a squeeze, then you shouldn't lose too much of the actual cane that you're wanting. Now, depending on what you're wanting it for is how big or how small you reduce the cane. Now, if you're wanting to use them for decorating pieces, and I like to reduce them really, really small for when I'm decorating, but if you're wanting to create flower beads and things like that, then you'd want to obviously reduce it to a bigger size, or if you want the really small flower beads, then you can do. But like I said, this has not got a stamen in the middle of it, so I'm just calling it a solar flare cane, but it's the same sort of process for if you're wanting to make a flower cane. You just put something in the centre. So now I've got that down to, just give it a slow roll. When you're doing this, just to even it out, don't press too hard on it while it's warm because it will distort it. So at the minute I've got it to 2.5 centimetres, so I've still some ways to go. But you just keep going. Now, I don't know how much I'm actually going to need for the project that I'm going to do, so I'm going to chop this in half and then I'm going to keep some at the large size so I can wake it back up if I need some more later, and then I'll just reduce down the other half of it. So you just rock it side to side when you've got your blade, and then you've got down. So you can see it gets more defined the smaller you make it. So I'll put this one to the side and we'll just carry on with this one. With this one, it's like the smaller it goes, the more it looks like a burst of light. That's how I see it anyway. Yeah. And I'm going to make some nice beads and things with it and save some for future projects for decorating larger beads. Right. See, I've got a dip in the middle here, so that's just waste clay. So you're best off just cutting that off. Don't cut too big of a chunk off until you know that you've got to where the end of the hole is. Still a tiny little hole there, so just take another little piece off. Oh, and another one. There we go, got it. So save these pieces, you can use them for something nice. So getting smaller as well. So as you can see now, all the white lines that looked really bold when the cane was bigger are getting smaller and smaller. When you reduce a cane, the centre of it reduces less than what the outside of it does. So if you line something with sort of like a thick chunk of a clay, it won't stay like that, because when you reduce it, you're squashing it out. So the centre obviously doesn't get as warm and manipulated as much as what the outside does, unless you've been doing it for quite a while. So I've been doing this for about 10 minutes now. I wanted to show you it in real time, because some canes can take a lot longer to wake up and some are really quick. This is relatively quick because it's a cane that I've made it last a couple of days, so that's why it's going as quickly as it is today. So just take your time with it. You don't want to rush it, because you can end up making your cane crack, and you don't want that, because then you end up losing some of your pretty cane. So as you can see, all the gold leaf that I've got on the edge now, it's just going to be added little flecks of sparkle when I'm doing my slices. So let's just cut a bit of the end off here. So that's how. Ooh, doesn't seem to want to focus. Sorry, it's my husband's camera and I'm learning how to use it a bit. There, I think you can see it best there, so if it's blurred, I'm sorry. I fiddle with his camera and then I can't remember how to get it back to where I want. So that is about, that's about 1 centimetre wide. So that's about the size I'm wanting it to make some little beads, but then I'm going to make some of it even smaller for when I'm covering some collage beads, but I'll show you that in another video. So I hope that's been helpful, because I know when I first started out with polymer clay, I wondered, you know, how do I go about reducing these canes that I've made, because I made bunches and bunches of canes, and then I thought, right, how do I make them smaller? So this is it. So I watched quite a few videos and, you know, put 2 and 2 together, and this is just the way I like to do it. So I hope that's helped you. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. And thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up, that would be appreciated. And if you'd consider subscribing as well, that would be appreciated too. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.